Hi guys, how have you guys been? It's been a minute, and I said, you know what, I should jump on and do one of these videos. It's been a while. And today, I think this video is really beneficial for someone that is a founder of a startup, someone that is a sales leader, or or is thinking about creating a sales team. Because it's some of the things I've seen I wanted to share. I've been doing a lot of consulting, supporting startups, setting up sales teams or managing sales teams. And I keep having this recurring challenge I thought I should address. So in one scenario is a founder, not too sure what kind of sales team to set up for her business. The second scenario is more like a founder that is torn between. So they had launched a B2C product and now they were going to a B2B product, and they weren't too sure the sales team they had and the sales structure they had could service the new product or service line or product line they were about to launch. And in one case, which was quite interesting, was one the founder, after launching another service line, decided to let the sales team go because they felt that they were not seeing any traction. And this was after like 8 weeks. I'll share my thoughts on that. So, I think one of the biggest things to consider when you're trying to set up a sales team is the customer segment you're trying to address. I know for weeks I kept talking about inside sales, BDR, SDRs. Those are normally inside sales because of the nature of the structure. This is a sales team that is just touch and go. It's good for very transactional business. They don't have to show up in person. They use digital tools, analytics to do most of the engagement flow, off remotely. They're not well suited for some kinds of sales. And that's what I want to address today. If you are targeting mostly mid-sized business, but large-sized businesses that would probably do a lot of large deal sizes. So in terms of revenue size, you're talking about, you're signing a contract for $100,000 an annum or $1 million an annum, those types. Or you're servicing clients, could mid-size, could be mostly some mid-size, but mostly large size that do have complexity. So in terms of the structure, there is complexity. It could be in the buying process. For example, it's not just the budget holder that makes the decision. There are other decision makers required to make that call for a go for that deal. Or by nature of their structure, that does exist because there are lots of in cases where you have like a business that has a lot of representation in different markets. So it's a little bit complex. So buying decisions, like if the head office wants to buy, they have to consider that they have operations in the Middle East, in Africa, in Europe, and maybe each of those little operations do kind of bring in their own interest. Now, when you're dealing with these types of clients, which is mostly large clients or mid-sized clients with complexity in the buying process, and normally the deal sizes are large, you do need what we really call account managers, key account managers, but you need salespeople that's slightly beyond some of those skill sets I was talking about, or have some skill sets I think are very key. Relationship building skill sets and ability to do consultative selling, because now they are not selling, it's not mostly like a transactional business, it's not a simple deal of a B2C. These are mostly complex deals that come with complexity. So a good example is that the buying decision doesn't sit with one person. So even though, for example, the CTO or the CMO does hold the budget, the decision is made by C-level. So the CFO is kind of involved, maybe CMO, CTO kind of involved, even CEO is kind of involved. Depending on the size of the deal, the board might be involved in certain ways. So once you're dealing with that kind of complexity, the salesperson can't engage with just one unit. Two, if the product itself is complex, so operations needs to be involved. They want to understand the APIs, integration, project plan. Do you have a migration plan? How do we mitigate the risk? It's not as easy as just having those virtual calls, demoing and selling, which is what we do with very simple deals. So in this case, where you have that kind of complexity, I would advise, number one, you get a salesperson that has those skills I've said, in addition to the other sales skills. And mostly it's advisable, that's my preference, is to go for a salesperson that is experienced, at least 5 years upwards. So they probably have maybe even done a bit of inside sales or being an SDR or BDR, but they know how to now engage with several stakeholders. So it's not just to talk to the CMO team or to the marketing team of the organization. They know how to pitch and show business case, return of investment, or whatever they're trying to pitch to the CFO. They know how to present it to the marketing team and show how the value, the benefits, attributes of whatever they're trying to sell can be packaged for that client to, service their own end clients and show value. They know how to engage with operations and the operations team to show how the migration will work, integration, API call, what are the mitigation, what are the risks, and all this. Most times in this kind of selling, you also will probably even need the support of a pre-sales team. So most times the salesperson doesn't do it alone. They will get like a technical solutions or a solutions team that would support them in the process. And that's what makes that sales cycle long. Think of all these people we are trying to engage, or the departments we are trying to engage and convince and understand and know what what would determine what their criteria for making a decision. Takes a while. So first of all, those mid-sized clients, large-sized clients, they do, especially this is now B2B, they have a longer sales cycle, 6 months and above. It is, unless you're just, it's maybe a recurring business, you're trying to sell an upgrade or a new feature before you have 4-week sales cycle. Just even raising the PO. The fact that you raise the PO doesn't even mean that they're going to pay you. You're going to first implement and all that. So the sales cycle is longer. One, those salespeople that are required need to be a bit more skilled and experienced in managing several stakeholders, understanding what it takes to engage with these different stakeholders with different factors and criteria that will be required from them. So in that case, my advice is, if you do have a B2C product and maybe you had field salespeople, it doesn't necessarily translate that they can sell a B2B product for mid-size and large clients. So you have to understand if they have the necessary skills to take on that role. That is one. So, and if you do onboard those types of salespeople, don't expect them to turn your business around in 6 to 8 weeks. Mostly they're just onboarding and now building relationships into your client's organization. So they can't turn it around. You would give them like 6 months to 1 year. You definitely will see traction. And maybe that's the next video I'll do, talk about some metrics you could measure. But don't expect them to turn that business around for you in 4 to 6 weeks. That is not a B2C or inside sales. It's not that type of selling. So the sales cycle is longer. So I just wanted to put that out there if this could help, because that's an observation I had, and I thought, wow, it's good to let people know that, especially when you're doing mid-sized, large-sized clients that are B2B, should rethink the sales team you're trying to put together. So have a good Monday and talk to you later. Bye.